The Treasure State University of Montana football is a way of life. Lithia Ford has long been a proud sponsor of Grizz football, and Lithia Ford of Missoula is thrilled to have several of the best Montana football seniors driving the best trucks in Montana. Aspen Sound is the premier car audio and accessory shop in Montana. Aspen Sound makes sure the boys are riding in style with tinted windows and state-of-the-art stereo systems. There's always a party in Montana. Whether you're going to a concert, a wedding, or a football game, the Montana Party Bus will get you there. Skyline Sports and ESPN MT cover the Big Sky with more depth than anyone. Check out SkylineSportsMT.com and tune in to Nuanez now on 102.9 ESPN Missoula every day. My Montana Roots and Wear Your Roots clothing is your go-to spot for the most unique and comfortable lifestyle clothing you'll find anywhere. And get your custom t-shirts to support your favorite player. From 5 local businesses who love Montana, best of luck to the Grizz as they pursue another Big Sky Conference championship. Do you want something different than just your average number 37 Grizz jersey? Montana's vaunted number is certainly super cool, but how about a shirt with this year's number 37 on it? Wear Your Roots clothing and MyMontanaRoots.com has Trevin Gradney custom-made number 37 shirts available right now. You can find them online, MyMontanaRoots.com, or by visiting Wear Your Roots in downtown Missoula on Higgins Avenue. Trevin Gradney, a Billings, Montana product. A great story, the first cornerback to ever wear number 37 for the Grizzlies. Go get your custom-made Wear Your Roots Trevin Gradney shirt at Wear Your Roots Clothing in downtown Missoula or at MyMontanaRoots.com. The continuation of a fun series here on the Big Sky Breakdown podcast, as well as the Skyline Sports YouTube channel. This is our Where Are Your Roots? It's presented by Wear Your Roots Clothing. Wear Your Roots Clothing has a really cool shop right downtown Missoula. Brandon Slocum's a Missoula guy. He's been working here in the Garden City, building this business up for a really long time. Known Brandon for a long time. I'm really proud of him for what he's been able to build it up into. They have all sorts of cool clothing in there. If you've seen the logo, you know it's iconic. It has the Montana with the roots coming out of it. But they can do a version of that for a variety of different types of clothing, whether it's hats, T-shirts. They can brand it with some Grizz angles, all sorts of different stuff. So Wear Your Roots Clothing, presenting our Where Are Your Roots podcast series, where we're catching up with a handful of University of Montana seniors, including the young man who joins us right now, Nick Ostmo. He is a super senior, as you'd call it here, for the Grizz football team. So let's start with the here and now, man. I know that last year, maybe before the season, you thought it was going to be your last run, and now here you are gearing up for your last fall camp. So just take us through it. I mean, what was the decision that made you want to stay in Missoula?
You know, going into last year, I kind of had some injury stuff going on.
You got hurt bad a couple times, right?
It's kind of been a reoccurring thing, and I kind of made the decision that I was like, all right, I'm going to be done. But it was kind of me thinking that my body was going to get super beat up throughout the year, and that didn't really end up happening. And at the end of the year, I was like, you know, I could probably do this again. So it kind of was like, I'll never get this opportunity again. Might as well run it back one more time. And of course, we got to that last game and left with a bitter taste in our mouth, and it's kind of like let's get back there. Let's finish the job this time.
Well, you got a bunch of buddies that you live with that have been your teammates for a while, and they are all kind of going into their 5th or 6th years too. That must have had influence on you.
Yeah, for sure. And after that championship game, everybody kind of went home, and me and Ryder Meyer were just sitting on the couch, and he was just like asking me every day, like, so do you make a decision yet? And kind of trying to persuade me.
So you come back, man.
Yeah, for sure. So hats off to him for nagging me and kind of annoying me those couple of days to make a decision.
Well, last year, you look at your statistics from each game. You're so consistent. It seemed like you had like a pretty even workload. Eli Gilman got about 18 carries a game. You got about 14 carries a game. You'd have a couple catches. Did that help, though, just having because I think you had no less than 11 carries and no more than 16 in a game. Did that help you just not having those 20, 25 carry games where you get all beat up?
Yeah, for sure. Having that workload taken off a little bit was definitely the thing that kind of changed that, because it's like the wear and tear throughout the season, just taking hits and all that landed on the ground wrong on your shoulders, whatever. Having less carries is beneficial, especially when there's a guy like Eli that can do it really well.
For sure.
And I know on the sideline that I'm like, this dude's a stud, and I feel great when he's in, and it's awesome having a guy like that.
Well, let's talk about where you come from. This is our Where Are Your Roots, presented by Wear Your Roots Clothing. You're from Portland.
Yep.
Did you actually live in the city? There's all sorts of different suburbs in Portland. Where'd you actually live?
So I lived in like Raleigh Hills.
Okay.
So it was like a 10-minute drive into town. I went to school downtown Portland, and so
Lincoln
yeah, 10
High School
minutes.
is really right in the heart of town.
Yep. It's like 3 blocks away from Portland State's campus. Oh, yeah, right down there.
So did they recruit you hard?
A little bit. Like I talked to one of their coaches on Twitter, like
Sure.
DM, and
Yeah.
then they invited me to a junior day and just wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah.
Didn't show up, and then just kind of stopped after that.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because Portland State, there's been a lot of good guys that come out of Portland. There's been several that have come to the Grizz in recent years. Yourself, Samari Torre, some guys from like the Eugene area as well. And it seems like Portland State didn't recruit any of those guys that hard. It's sort of weird. It's like, well, if you can play at Montana, you can probably play at Portland State. So I never understood that. Growing up in Portland, what was your favorite part? How would you just describe just growing up there?
It was good. I had a lot of really good friends and a lot of good athletes over there, and a lot of people that pushed me to be where I am. And I was a member at the MAC Club, which is downtown, and that kind of helped me kind of mature my body coming in and getting ready for college. I think that's part of the reason I played so early here.
Totally, yeah.
Just having resources like that were great growing up.
Well, Portland's a cool town. I know it's had its struggles lately, but that's a lot of big cities in America. But I mean, the beauty there is unbelievable. It's one of my favorite big cities to. It's not even a big city, really. It's a small city by big city standards. But I mean, that's a cool dynamic, though, right? Because you're on the water. You can go have a city life if you want, but also you're right there, the mountains, the lake, all that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the outdoors growing up?
Yeah, we have so Mount Hood is like an hour away,
Right.
And we had a cabin up there, and would go. I spent a lot of my childhood there going, and I didn't really do much skiing because I played basketball growing up, but a lot of like sledding, snow stuff was a big thing growing up, and just spending time with the family at the cabin, and then obviously going to the beach. We spent a lot of time in like Gearhart, Seaside. My dad's does construction. He's a contractor.
Okay.
So we build houses, and he built one of our buddies' houses over in Gearhart. So we
Nice.
spent a lot of time there.
Cool. Couple siblings, right?
Yeah, 2 older brothers.
So you're the third of 3 boys.
Third, yep.
I mean, that has an influence on you. How did it influence you?
You know, a lot of wanting to be the bigger one, because I was getting beat up a lot. Obviously, as a lot of younger kids do, but now we're 3 best friends, and they try to get out to as many home games as they can. And I think my oldest brother got season tickets for this year.
Nice, cool.
And they both live in on the East Coast in New York
wow.
and Boston. So, yeah, he's gonna have a lot of airtime this year coming to Missoula for some games.
Well, that's awesome. That's great that he's going to be able to make it over. Are you the best athlete out of the 3?
I'd like to think so.
The youngest brother always gets to be the best athlete, right? Because they have to take their lumps growing up, and then they just keep getting tougher.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say because we all went and played college sports. But,
Oh, cool. What did they play?
So my oldest brother, played baseball at Dartmouth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he was a pretty good athlete. He's a little bit taller.
Yeah.
A little bit thinner.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a really good athlete, really fast. And then my middle brother played D3 football at Tufts, which is in Boston.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a great school, too.
Yeah.
You had some Ivy League offers, too, right?
I was talking to some. Obviously, I went to Dartmouth. I'd make a trip there to go watch like baseball.
Sure, yeah.
And then talk to the coaches. So I was kind of in talks with them, and then obviously I wasn't smart enough to go there.
You got to be pretty smart.
I might be the best athlete of the brothers, but I'm probably not the smartest of
Oh,
them.
but they're going to Dartmouth and Tufts. They're definitely good students. But was that a point of emphasis in your house growing up? High academics. It seems like all you guys are pretty good students.
I'd say they got a little bit better genes than I did, but it was definitely an emphasis from my parents to excel in the classroom.
You mentioned your dad is a contractor. What's your mom do?
She does like research for. She works in like the NICU,
Oh,
working
okay.
on baby or infant eye research stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know too much.
So she
about
at what is the big hospital there?
OHSU.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is she there?
Yep.
Damn, that's a prestigious place. My wife's a nurse too, so but that's one of the best hospitals in the whole Western United States. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
When you mentioned you played basketball, I know you also played baseball. You're a golfer, so
Yep.
do you think being involved in a whole bunch of different sports helped you as an overall athlete?
Yeah, I think so. I think baseball probably had the biggest influence on everything. It's kind of like that hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
Being able to watch things with your eyes and catch things and all that. And then obviously baseball it isn't really the same as golf, but the swinging, knowing how to hit a ball.
Yes.
Definitely influences that.
Treasure State University of Montana football is a way of life. Lithia Ford has long been a proud sponsor of Grizz football, and Lithia Ford of Missoula is thrilled to have several of the best Montana football seniors driving the best trucks in Montana. Aspen Sound is the premier car audio and accessory shop in Montana. Aspen Sound makes sure the boys are riding in style with tinted windows and state-of-the-art stereo systems. There's always a party in Montana. Whether you're going to a concert, a wedding, or a football game, the Montana Party Bus will get you there. Skyline Sports and ESPN MT cover the Big Sky with more depth than anyone. Check out SkylineSportsMT.com and tune in to Nuanez now on 102.9 ESPN Missoula every day. My Montana Roots and Wear Your Roots clothing is your go-to spot for the most unique and comfortable lifestyle clothing you'll find anywhere. And get your custom t-shirts to support your favorite player. From 5 local businesses who love Montana, best of luck to the Grizz as they pursue another Big Sky Conference championship. Did you ever consider, did you always know football was what you wanted to pursue at the sort of the next level?
It was kind of weird. I always went back and forth. Like during when I wasn't playing a sport, I really liked it.
Right.
It was really weird. So like when I was in baseball season, I was like, I want to be playing football right now.
Right.
And then kind of during football, I was like, well, I kind of miss baseball, but when I'd be playing baseball, I wouldn't really like it. It was a little interesting.
So did you play all through high school?
No, I stopped playing basketball. I hurt my knee.
Oh, bummer.
In like 8th grade.
Yeah.
And then, that's kind of where the injury started. But
you played baseball through high school, right?
Played baseball through high school, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, when you were making your decision, what'd you first think when Montana first landed on your radar?
So Tim Hauk, his stepson Brock was a player on my high school football team.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Okay, interesting connection.
Yeah, so in between 2 of his NFL jobs, he came and coached our high school team.
Pretty good high school coach.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just a freshman, so I didn't really play, but I kind of had that connection. And then he just sent my film to Bobby, like saying you should recruit this kid. And
that's when Coach Huck was just back, right?
Yep. And then it kind of just took off from there. I didn't really know anything about Montana. Tim was the only connection person I knew from Montana. So I'd never been here, never seen anything about it. I kind of just thought it was one of those like Midwest states that's kind of flat and there's nothing there. And then I came to camp and obviously I saw the mountains and the great scenery here and felt like home, and it was a great experience being here and meeting some of the guys. And then I came out for an official visit and they ended up losing that game to Portland State, which is pretty ironic.
That is ironic, right? That's the only time Portland State's ever won in Missoula, truly.
Yeah. And even after that, it was like, this place seems like home, and I wanted to be here.
So you did get to come to a game before you actually dressed in a game.
Yep.
Yeah. So what'd you think the first time you saw Washington Grizzly Stadium?
I'd only been to Oregon State Stadium, I think. Maybe Oregon's, but it definitely, like I remember seeing the capacity. I'm like, oh, it holds 25,000. I don't really know if that's a lot. I know that Oregon State hold more than that.
Sure.
And then obviously you come to the stadium and it's just erupting the whole entire game, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then what'd you think? I mean, you played as a true freshman, so what'd you think your first game or two playing in the stadium?
I wish I could go back and kind of relive that, because I think I was more just focusing on the game, like kind of nervous, and didn't want to mess up. I was kind of walking on eggshells around.
Right.
But I wish I could go back and kind of be like, look up into the stands and be like, wow, this is sweet. I'm an 18-year-old playing college football here. Yeah,
pretty awesome. The year you came in was the year that the Grizz sort of started climbing back, and you guys had a couple really good years and then a great year last year. So what's the process been like to sort of get this thing back rolling, and how have you guys been able to sort of embrace that whole narrative? Because, I mean, it's been talked about a lot, getting the Grizz back to where they belong. I know Coach Howe emphasizes it all. What does he always say? However many championships, working on however many championships, right? So what's it been like being a part of that whole thing?
It's been great. Coach Hout coming back, it's kind of been a slow proceeding process of having these leaders here and kind of developing those leaders that are coming up to. So there was guys when I was seniors that were great leaders and kind of reflected on guys below them, and it just kind of has worked its way up. And I think that's really been a thing that's made this team great getting better through the years is the leadership and holding each other accountable, making sure people are doing the right thing and not skipping reps in the weight room or not finishing reps at practice. It's kind of been a thing to involve the younger guys in.
How's the transitional leadership been then for going into this year? Because last year, like a lot of the guys that were the seniors last year were kind of vocal. You guys are all talkative, but not, like Braxton Hill never stops talking, right?
Yeah,
you had some guys that are pretty talkative. So what's the transfer of leadership been like?
It's definitely been a little of people having to step up and kind of be those vocal leaders. And then obviously we have a bunch of guys that are just going to be lead by example, showing people what to do, and people kind of follow you if they.
Like Junior Berger doesn't have to say anything, right?
No,
just do what he does, and
he
people.
Will, though.
Yeah, I know he will.
He'll say stuff.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys that doesn't stop talking.
Yes, definitely true. Gradney, same way. He's pretty talkative, right?
Yeah, he's super talkative.
Yeah.
He's a big motivation guy. He's been great as a leader. And then, if it works out right, the younger guys should respect a lot of the older guys, and then it's just. If they see you doing something, they'll follow in your footsteps. Well,
now that it's kind of settled in, you are coming back for your now, I guess, 6th year, if you count the red shirt, right? So has that sunk in yet? And what are your expectations for this last season of Grizz football?
I don't know if it's sunk in. It doesn't really feel like I've been here for that long. But I'm excited, man. It's going to be great. I love the group around me, and I'm so glad to finish it out with the guys I started with my roommates. I think there's only like 7 of us left in my original class, so it's pretty cool to be here with them. And obviously the guys that came in, they've kind of stuck in already, and that's been good. So I'm really excited to finish it out with these guys.
Where Are Your Roots? Presented by Where Are Your Roots Clothing. Nick Ostmo in studio with us here on behalf of Skyline Sports. Appreciate Where Are Your Roots for their continued support of this. Do you want something different than just your average number 37 Grizz jersey? Montana's vaunted number is certainly super cool, but how about a shirt with this year's number 37 on it? Wear Your Roots Clothing and MyMontanaRoots.com has Trevin Gradney custom-made number 37 shirts available right now. You can find them online, MyMontanaRoots.com, or by visiting Wear Your Roots in downtown Missoula on Higgins Avenue. Trevin Gradney, a Billings, Montana product, a great story, the first cornerback to ever wear number 37 for the Grizzlies. Go get your custom-made Wear Your Roots Trevin Gradney shirt at Wear Your Roots Clothing in downtown Missoula or at MyMontanaRoots.com.